Well guys, I've chosen swim. I'm fishing swim 9 since it's got good distance, like 18 wraps, and also I've seen 1 or 2 fish crash in and a few little ripples, so I think I'm going to go with this one. I've clipped my Kaizen with a Shimano Bait Runner 1000 DLRB with 15-pound long chuck on it. Clipped up at 18 wraps, and I haven't casted it long distance yet, so I'm going to try that out, see if I can hit it. If I can, I'll try and find a shallow bar within that range and put one of my rods on a spinner rig on top of that with a bit of my spod mix over the top of it, 1, 2, maybe 3 spons over it. Then the other rod, I'll do an adjustable zig with my zig mix, basically a cloud mix over the top of it. So yeah, hopefully we'll catch a couple, because I'm staying till like maybe 6, half 6, 7ish maybe. So yeah, a few hours, it's 4 o'clock right now, a few hours. And yeah, hopefully we'll get a couple. Well guys, I'm at Micklem Mere. I've got into peg 9. You can fish 18 wraps out. So I've just clipped it up at 18 wraps, as you just saw. I have got a Kaizen 10-foot, 3.5-pound test curve and a Shimano Bait Runner with 15-pound long chuck on there. And I've seen a couple of fish boshing about, so this is where I'm going to fish. It's my first time testing out my long chuck properly, because I fished at Tufnell Mere yesterday, but was in a swim where you can't fish that too far out. I was in the swim where you've got a long bit of island. If you guys have fished Tufnells, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm just going to see how far out I can cast this, and if I can get it to 18 wraps, or if I can't really, I'll get my marker float out, try and find a nice little shallow spot to put a spinner rig on, and then on my other rod I'm going to do an adjustable zig, because that was what was doing the business at Tufnells yesterday. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Well guys, as you can see, the bailiff kindly came over and helped me out to net him. He was foul hooked, but in my eyes the fish was on my spot and it just got spooked off. At least they were feeding, and at least I've seen a fish come out of Micklem Mere. First time ever fishing it. Hopefully I'll hook him in the mouth next time. My first fish out of Micklem Mere. It's a shame though, he's hooked in his pectoral fins. Bailiff came round and helped me net him. Put up a really long scrap, and I was thinking, God, this must be a really nice fish. But he hooked in his pectoral fin, so that's why he was putting up such a fight. But at least he was on my spot feeding. Yeah, 13 pounds 02, so not a giant, but really nice fish. Let's get releasing him. Let's get releasing him. At Micklem, you do have to get in the water with him, because you see how shallow it is. So if you just release them there, they're going to get all scraped up in the gravel and stuff. You do have to get in the water to release them. Nice fish. Shame I didn't actually hook it, but yeah, let's get releasing. Nice. Well, we've been here since 4 o'clock. Haven't managed to actually hook anything properly. I did hook a 13-pound common, as I said, but it was in the pectoral fin. I thought in the net it was actually hooked near the mouth, but I think the hook came out and then got back in, which was a shame. But it put up a really good fight, and I was wondering how a 13-pounder could put up such a fight. But you find when a fish is foul hooked, it does put up more of a fight, obviously, because it's trying to swim. Right, if you had a hook in your arm, if you had a hook in your mouth, then you'd be able to run. And I know it's not the same. If you had a hook in your arm and you're trying to run, you'd be like pulling. That's why it's putting up more of a fight. Probably took 15 minutes to get in, I reckon. And the bailiff helped me net it, which was good, because I don't think I'd have been able to net that one myself, because it was at a really funny angle, seeing as it was hooked on its pectoral fin. But it would have been feeding on the spot, then I felt my leg and then spooked off, and that was on the 13mm Super Point Cell pop-up, and a size 6 spinner hook with a medium kicker and a large hook lead with a micro ring swivel. Not the basics range, I prefer to go for just the normal packaging, so I prefer the micro ring swivels off them. I'm not sure if they do them on the basics, but I just, apart from like hook links and stuff like that, I steer clear of the basics range, because I think, in my opinion, the dark matter range is a lot better for my fishing. But if you're doing normal, I say normal, if you're doing like casual carp fishing, catching fish under 15 pound, then I would go for the basics, because it is a lot cheaper. But yeah, I am definitely going to come back here, and I've seen people putting out a lot of bait. Like the bailiff has probably put out 20 spons when I've been here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back loaded with sweet corn and hemp, not my usual spod mix, because that'd just be
way too much money. And I would recommend, if you are putting lots of bait out and the lake you're fishing does respond well to heavy baiting, use sweet corn and hemp. I wouldn't use, unless you can spend that much money on bait, I would use sweet corn and hemp, because if you buy it from like a pet shop or I don't know, like animal shop or whatever, you will save a lot of money on sweet corn compared to buying it at the tackle shop. You can save a lot of money, and that's a really cost-effective way to do it. Because if you're putting out 10 spoms of your pellet mix or whatever, that's going to be quite a bit of money. But if you're putting 10 spoms out of sweet corn, especially the frozen stuff won't be as like rich in flavour. Whereas tin stuff is more expensive, but it's got more flavour because that juice in it. But what you can do is, if you buy a couple things of tins of sweet corn, and then with your frozen stuff, if you put that in a bucket and then pour the liquid in from tin sweet corn, you are kind of infusing that that freezer sweet corn with that liquid. Or I like to do a bit of smart liquid in it if I am using sweet corn. I do tend to just use maize, because I think it's like it just stays on the spot for a lot longer and it can't break down by the little fish. And yeah, definitely somewhere I want to come back, as you see fish crashing all over the shop. Definitely somewhere I want to come back, tight lines and wet nets.